Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well out there. This is going to be a good one, I think. We got a special guest coming in here with us. We got constitutional stackers coming in here in just a few minutes. Going to give us some tips on stacking that silver. I got a few questions for him. Hopefully, you do. If you do, throw them out there. Put any questions you have in caps so I can see them and so he can see them. Uh, thank you guys for being here. Let's see who's in the house. Let's do our roll call here. Let me get up here and see who's in. Tully was the first one in. Hey, you're new. I appreciate you being here. I truly do. Of course, we got Stacker. He's got to be here because we're gonna pick his brain a little bit here. Lori's here in the house. She wants to say hello to everyone. Just watched your video. I'm glad you're back in the kitchen. You said you were making you some French fries. That's a good thing, right? Who else we got in here tonight? Let me see. There's a pretty good conversation going on there. We got Linda Farrow with us. There we go. Michelle J. from Tennessee, land of the free. Lynn Stalker. All right. Fourth and goal's in the house. Hope Fluffy joins us. I always like to see Fluffy in here. Buzz Runner's back with us. Happy Turkey Day to everybody, he wants to say. There you go. This is a new one. Homestead Aquarius. All right. Must have come over with my man Stacker. Who else we got? Silver and Cigar. There's a new one. Thank you guys for dropping in. I was in the house. Who else we got down? If I miss you, I'm sorry. I'm old. I can't. My comments just blinked out again.
Philip's here.
Glenn Anderson's with us. There we go. I call out Silver and Cigar?
Yep.
All right, good. Because he's new and I want to make sure I called him out. Philip Dixon's with us. Yeah. Just stock it. That's right. Just stock it. All the way to the roof, guys. All the way to the roof. Thanks for being here. What we got here? Nickel stacking basketball guru and auction pro. All right. There's Fluffy. There's my girl right there. Yeah, there we go. Who else? Let me get down here. Here's a new one too. All right, J1W2T3. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, let's get on what we got going here. I got a couple of birthday shout outs I want to make right off the bat. No, one right off the bat. We're going to do one just a little later. But that one's the one you really need to be on top of. But let me say happy birthday to my buddy All American Prepper over there near Tampa. Today's his birthday. I think he turned 22 today. So we want to give him a shout out. And hopefully he'll have a good day. But let's get on with it. I told you guys I mentioned last week, how probably a couple of weeks, how YouTube's trying to restrict all these prepper channels, all these emergency channels. I got a good example for you right here. Last week's live stream. That's the number they had. They said I had 19 views last week during a live stream. The problem with that is when this live stream is over and I shut down my live stream feed here, I get a count from YouTube on how many people was here. I had over 50. I had 58 viewers in and out. I had 32 constant last week. And then the next day when it was posted as a video, they said it had 19 views. This is what they're doing to emergency channels, prepping channels, and anybody that has anything to do with you getting ready for what's coming. We're not getting credit for what we're doing here. They're trying their best to shut us down. Slowly. Not shut us down, censor us. Sorry, they're doing the best they can to censor us. And the only way that channels like this can keep going is if you share them with your friends and people you know. And you give me a thumbs up and you make a comment. After this is posted as a video, not as a live stream. As a live stream, none of this counts. It's just here basically for you to drop in and give your thoughts and let people know, talk to people. The exchange in this community here is great, and that's what this is for. But after this live stream's over and it's posted as a video, that's when you need to hit that like. Well, you can hit it now, but that's when you need to make comments after it's posted as a video. And like I said last week, even if you're here now and you got nothing going on tomorrow while you're cooking, bring this up as a video. Just click it and let it play. That's the only way I get credit for it. This live stream I don't get credit for.
Lori said she's had people that have been unsubscribed from her.
Oh, I see that every day. Look, well, I didn't put a post up here for the subscriptions. Hey, Tammy Joe, appreciate you being here, girl. It goes in 28-day cycles on YouTube, but every 28 days I'm getting 40 to 50 new subscribers, but my number's not moving. My subscriber number is not moving, and I don't know if I get 40 or 50 that subscribe and then 40 or 50 that leave, or if I'm just not getting credit for them. But in our analytics, we can see how many new people come in every 28 days. And the number's just not moving that much. They're killing us. They're killing us, guys. But that's just me. That's my rant. Let me give you this. I've been meaning to do this for several weeks. If you get a subscription to any kind of magazine where you're like collecting anything or it's a special interest for you, like me, and I get Shooting Illustrated. If that address label is printed on there, make sure you tear that off before you throw that away. You want to tear that out, so shred it, burn it, whatever. Throw it away separate from the magazine you're getting, because you never know, a guy at the dump or a guy at the recycle center, they might pick that magazine up and say, this guy likes guns. He's probably got a lot of guns in his house, and tell some of his unsavory friends, and they might come to take advantage of that. So just wanted to drop that out there right quick. But here's what I thought this is great. This is a good one. Don't know if you guys heard about this or not, but the federal government is contacting all of the people they ran out of the military that wouldn't take this. They're begging them to come back. They're offering them bonuses. And a lot of them is just basically telling them, pretty much they can stick it, because they know if that was just the one thing. If they come back, they're coming right back into the same administration that kicked them out. So why in the hell would they go back? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And another thing I found pretty interesting this week, the Russian ruble is doing better on the world market than the U.S. dollar, even though the ruble is restricted. It's got sanctions all over it because of the Ukraine war, but it's outperforming the U.S. dollar on the world stage. That tells you all you need to know about our economy right there, and about what's going on with our money. All right. But speaking of money, I got a guy here I want to talk to you about getting as much silver and precious metals as you can. Let me get him in here early. My man right there, Constitutional Prepper. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, YouTube? So you mentioned some things I'd like to touch on if I might have a few minutes.
Please, go for it.
First of all, huge shout out to Homestead Aquarius. Just stack it. Silver and Cigars, my friend Tuli. Y'all are personal friends of mine. Y'all have been fantastic. Nickel Stacking, also great guy. Nickel has a different way, but he's very smart. So if you can all take a moment to subscribe to those channels. And I want you all to remember something. We don't benefit by subscribing and never watching. And YouTube, which is owned by Google, make no mistake, will not tell you who posts a video when. Sometimes you have to manually go by those channels. It's just the way it is. Which brings me to my next point. By the way, thank you all for the friendships we've developed. You guys are phenomenal people. Follow me on Rumble. Orlando told me backstage I'm not worthy of a wrench. So I can't post a link to my Rumble, but Rumble is a free speech platform. So Constitutional Stacker, rumble.com. Find me there, please. I say more there than I can say here. Hopefully OP will find his way over there as well, because I think, like myself, he's one of those outspoken rednecks that likes to tell it like it is.
I've been known to do that.
Which is kind of why I like him. And I think in this community, most of us are that way. I think most of us lean toward the right, even though we see there's problems with that, but we see there's more problems to the left. And I think we all just like our 2A tools and our freedom and our money and our choice.
Absolutely. So, absolutely.
With that, that's all I got to say. Let the questions fire off. Big Daddy, let's go.
Hey, yeah, if y'all got a question for this guy, put it in all caps here. But I have a question for you. Why did you start stacking in the first place?
Because I was broke. That is the simplest way I can put it. So I am 43 years old. I was born in 1980. I started stacking 2008, 2009. I'm a veteran with stacking, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I started. I knew it was shiny. My old man took me to the coin shop back in the day. I was like, oh, I like this. and once it hit my hand, okay, I realized that I had something of value. Yep. Something, because I smoked cigarettes for 33 years, I think. Yeah. And I realized I wasn't going to take that and go to the coin shop and sell it and buy a pack of smokes or a 40 of Bush before they went woke, because that's Anheuser. We don't do that anymore. But I realized that at the time, and I realized this was a way to save money, save wealth in some small fashion. And I thought I'd get rich by doing it. And I want no illusions, okay? Do I trust the financial markets? Hell no.
Nope.
Do I trust the stock market? Hell no.
Nope.
Have I made a lot of profits on them? Hell yes. So
good.
My thought process, I made a lot of money over the jab BS. I mean, a lot of money. I made 4,700% by hedging my bets. Do I think it's real? No, I don't. And I realized that I made that profit on the pain and stupidity of others.
Right. But it wasn't of your doing. It was somebody else did that. We all know that.
You're right, and if nobody participated, it wouldn't happen. So I'm guilty of participating and enabling it to that degree.
Right.
However, I can't change it as one man. So I made a lot of money, and I turned it into physical assets. And
there you go. I got
that's Michelle, the name of the game.
Michelle J got a question for you there. What do you recommend for a good stack for folks?
Well, that depends if you ask me or if you ask Nickel. Nickel says 10,000 dimes will do you. Well, that's about 714 ounces.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Here's my answer to your question, Michelle. Historically speaking, gold and silver are money. They are God's money. It's in the Bible. It's money. You cannot have enough. I think you should have a minimum of 1,000 ounces of silver. I think you should have a minimum of. Well, actually, I'm not a huge fan of gold. Not going to lie, for many reasons. We won't get into that here. We don't have the time.
I'm not either. Actually,
I do hold some. I think it's overrated. I think the world's obsessed with it, which is why I have it. But I don't love it. It doesn't do much. So I think a minimum of 1,000 ounces. But here's the funny thing. Once you get that first ounce, 10 ounce, 100 ounce, whatever it is, you're going to want more. It's like my old man told me before he lost his flipping mind. He says, once you make your first million, which I have not done, I'm on my way. He told me, he said, you will focus then on making your second and third and fourth million. Yeah. So silver's that way as well. So is gold, platinum, palladium, whatever.
I just started on my third million.
Oh, big
I gave up on the first two.
So my answer to you is it's money. Can you really have too much money?
Right. And the thing is about it, we're all preppers here. That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
And, for thousands of years, humans have used precious metals as currency. And it's always going to be that way. I think right now it's always going to be that way.
Well, it's funny. Historically speaking, if you look at societies that have failed monetarily, which is, all of us, they always go back to one thing, that's gold and that's silver. And
right.
People say, "Oh, you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver." Well, no, ass dummy, But here's the deal. I would love to cuss, but it's not my channel, so I'm not going to do that. Here's the deal: you can't eat bullets, right? You can't eat a 2A tool, which I have on my hip right now.
Right.
But everyone wants them, right? During a collapse, so you can use these tools to buy food. That is the stupidest argument I've ever heard in my life, and it pisses me off to no end. And I think I can say pisses on Google.
Yeah, still. Well, you can say pretty much anything here except the Lord's name in vain. I don't accept
that. I agree with you, sir.
Just Stack It has a question.
I do that sometimes because I'm dumb and I'm human and I'm a sinner, but I try to correct myself,
Buzz wants to know if you got any pandas.
I do not, actually. I have no Morgans and I have no peace dollars either, believe it or not. I have thousands of ounces, but there's things I don't have. Go ahead.
When we go to these online silver sites, and you see, this silver ounce is like $3 or $4 more than another silver ounce. Why do you see that? I mean, I know I buy buffaloes. Buffaloes are usually some of the cheapest ones you can buy, but they are pure silver. They are 1 ounce. And then you'll see like a Walking Liberty for like $3 more. Why do they do that?
Well, I'll tell you why. So I just put a buffalo on the screen. I love buffaloes. They do it because people will pay it. So when you look at precious metal, I want people to look at the value of the metal, not what's stamped on it, not how pretty it is, none of that. Now, once you get your base stack established, and I'm talking at least 100 ounces before you even think about paying for that kind of crap, at least. And that's a very conservative estimate.
Yeah.
Then you can branch out, but I think private mint and bullion is the way to go with a caveat. And that caveat is this. If you look here, I got a silver eagle. And I am not a silver eagle guy. To me, it's a piece of silver. It's bullion. It's not even that pretty to me. But I've seen what's happened with the U.S. Mint over the years, dropping production. Y'all realize 12 months ago, people were paying $45, $50 for these stupid things. Because the mint dropped production, because I can't get them, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have enough to offload. If I could go back in time, I would have had 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 plus ounces to offload. Well, now the premiums have adjusted downward, and you'll always get, $2-3 over premium when you sell them at most local coin shops.
Yeah. So
I'm putting myself in a position now where I'm stacking. I think I bought 74 or 84 of them in the last 5-6 weeks, because when that happens, I'm going to take advantage of the chumps. Damn right. Because they mean nothing to me. It's a piece of silver. But if you're willing to give me $45 for silver that's worth $25, I'll sell it to you all day long.
Oh hell yeah!
And I'm not evil. I'm just it's like a stock. There are. I think someone knocked at my door. They're going to get shot or go away. It's like a stock. It goes up, it goes down, and you got to make your moves the right way.
Yeah. Michelle J had another question here is, what do you think of fractional? But, the way I see it, especially for preppers, if you're buying fractionals, I think it's a good idea, because like right now we have if you look at dollars, you have $100 bills, you have 50s, 20s, 5s, 10s, whatever. Silver is going to be that same way when we're using silver as currency. You need like 1/10 of an ounce to buy this amount of product, or a quarter of an ounce, or a half an ounce. Like a $5 bill or a $10 bill or whatever. How do you feel about that? That's the way I look at it. How do you feel about that?
Well, I have a lot to say about that, actually. So I think fractional silver is phenomenal if you buy constitutional silver. 1964 and earlier silver. There's one caveat to that. My LCS never has it, but when he does, I buy it. He will charge me. Don't call me junk, Michelle. That's not very nice. That's my personal joke because junk is constitutional. I love constitutional silver. I have probably 400 or 500 ounces of just constitutional, and that is the fractional I want you to buy. I'm not a financial advisor. I hope you put a disclaimer in the video. If not, I'm saying it now. Now, the caveat to that is this. My LCS never has fractional. When he does, he doesn't mark the price up. If you buy a quarter of an ounce, he charges you the same he would for an ounce, based on the value of. So you're paying if you bought 4 of them, it would cost you the same as it would for an ounce.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And online dealers do not do that. You will pay an incredible premium. So I would say do not do it unless you buy constitutional or you can get it for the same dollar cost average price.
Right. I've mentioned earlier that if you build a relationship with some of these dealers, they'll help you out on that premium, because they want that returning customer. Absolutely.
I called up Harry one day. I said, hey, I want to do this for that. And it was to his benefit. I knew it going into it, but, I had a personal need. He says, absolutely. But he's also done things on the flip side. He said to me, yeah, you're a great customer. You bring me a lot of business. How about I do this for less? I'm like, well, if you want to, I'm not twisting your arm. I said, no, you're a good dude. I'm like, all right. So an LCS is a phenomenal relationship.
Okay.
And
what an LCS is to people.
Local coin shop.
There you go. All right.
And there are some of them that suck. There are, let me think, probably 25 in my local area. I'm fortunate. I do business with 2. Huh. Now, that's partially because I don't like the other 10 or 15. And it's also because I haven't explored the other 10 or 15 or whatever it comes out to the math. But when you have a really good local coin shop, they're worth their weight in gold. Truly, they really are.
Absolutely. We don't have a lot here in Orlando. We don't have a lot of shops like that.
That's crazy to me because Orlando's, it's Florida, so that's weird.
Yeah. But she asked about, doing the junk silver thing. Yeah, go out, go to the bank, exchange that currency for some silver rolls. You might get lucky. From like he said, from 64 back, quarters, half dollars. Yep. Silver dollars. Do they even make silver dollars anymore? I don't even know.
I doubt it. I'll tell you this too. Different coin shops do it differently. So the standard is $1.40 face value. So let's say 4 quarters and 4 dimes. That's $1.40 equals an ounce of silver. Some shops, believe it or not, actually weigh it because of the wear on the silver being worn off over the years through circulation. Right. So it's also important to consider that. Like, I like to get, mercury dimes with a lot of meat on them, or Washington quarters in the 55 to 64 era because they have more meat. Just in case I run into that. Now you go to Harry's, he doesn't care. $1.40 is $1.40, but some places do actually weigh the coins. So you need to know your local market when you're going to sell.
Yeah. I agree. This right here, she's talking about it's no local coin shops and you have to order online. Well, I'll let you answer that one.
I saw that, my friend. I can help you, Michelle. If you go to my last probably 10 videos, and I'm not paid or sponsored by any of them, I link in the description the 3 bullion dealers I use. I do not like APMEX. I do not like SD bullion, though their prices are coming down. I do not like JM bullion. I like Hero bullion. I like Bold Precious Metals, and I like Monument Metals. Those generally have the best prices. Those other big box stores, so to speak, will have great sales, but their day-to-day prices absolutely suck. So check my description. I'm not paid. I'm not sponsored. I'm not an affiliate, and it says that in the description. But Bold, Hero, and Monument are the go-to metal sites.
I'm
in my opinion.
gonna have to throw money medals in there too. They always do a pretty good deal for me.
I've never used them. I hear they have a great customer service. And I will say AppMex has wonderful customer service. So does JM and SD, but their prices suck.
Yeah,
they do.
well, I mean, I'm like everybody else. I shop around and look for the best price.
Yep.
I know you do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm a broke hillbilly. I have to.
All right, then. So, hey, I'm going to ask you one more question before I get out of here, and it's a simple one.
All right.
Do you think stacking is a good way for preppers to hedge off an economic collapse?
Absolutely. Here's the thing, full disclosure. I do not believe stacking will make you rich. It will keep you from being poor. You will never get rich by stacking alone. What you have to do, you have to save cash. You have to invest properly. And you have to take a portion of those profits in the investments and turn it into physical assets.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about preparation, okay? And that's why I'm glad we're doing this. I really want to bring 3 or 4 different types of channels together. 2A prep.
Absolutely.
2A prep.
Yep.
Thule mentioned hunting, and she's right in a private conversation, and stacking channels, because all stacking is, make no mistake, is a form of financial preparation, but it is a form of preparation. But by and in and of itself, it is not enough. Just like having food is not enough if you have nowhere to live. Having weapons is not enough if you don't have the seeds to feed them and a place to live and money to survive. Like, it's all an interconnected thing.
There you go. That's right. That's right. All right, brother. I appreciate you joining me here tonight. You're always welcome on this channel.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
Hey, like I told you before, I'm sorry you don't have a wrench, but nobody does but me. Because I don't want anybody to be responsible for what's going on here but me.
Now you sound like Thule, but I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at her either.
But I'm gonna wish
she won't even give me a wrench. But Thule, if you give anyone a wrench, it better be me first, damn it. And same for you, OP.
All right. Hope you stick around and watch the rest of what I got going on, because I got some important stuff coming up. A lot of folks probably hadn't thought about. But I appreciate you being here, brother. I'm gonna wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Can I ask you one question before you send me out?
Sure.
You are a retired law enforcement, correct?
Absolutely.
I am as well. Oh, I'm not retired, but I did some time. And I saw some things I didn't like on both ends. I'm not going to lie, in full disclosure.
All right.
But I guess it's not a question. I guess this is a statement. I got a buddy of mine who's a local cop. He went to retire 3 years ago. He's also a DOJ. He works for the U.S. Marshal Service from time to time. And he's a good man. And so any of you people out there that hate cops, like, cops are people. And we all make the wrong decision as people from time to time. And unfortunately, it's at somebody's expense. I remember he came in to see me at work one day. He came in for lunch and, oh, my neighbors are doing this and that, lighting off fireworks. I said, but are they good people? He goes, well, yeah. I said, all right. I said, do they watch your home when you're not there? Do they watch your wife? He goes, well, yeah. I go, then does it matter? And he didn't answer, but the light bulb went on. You can kind of see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So keep in mind, folks, we're all people. We all learn at a different rate. Unfortunately, when we make the wrong decision, it affects other people, but we're all people. We all want to learn. We all want to go home at night.
Yeah, hopefully he's one of the good ones. Back in my career, I worked with the feds so many times, and they were I don't think I can say any one good thing about any of them.
Well, I'll tell you this. He's DPSST primarily. That's the licensing out here in this state. And we've been shooting, and he's a good man, and he knows when I'm home, when I'm not home. And anytime I'm going down the road and I see, local PD pulling traffic, or any cop for that matter, I always pay attention. And I would have his 6, and if I had to jump in front of a bullet for him, I would, because he is a good man.
Well, as long as he does what's right and not what he's ordered to do, then
absolutely
I agree with that.
He's one of us. We jumped in his rig one day and went down to the 2A store. I don't want to say it. And I said, you know, man, I said, there's a point with all this crap in Oregon where I'm going to stop complying, and I'm going to be one of the. He goes, I'm with you, brother.
There you go. That's a
He's
good man right there.
He's one of them, but he's also old like us. He's not one of the young super cops, you know, that want to save the world and take orders.
These young guys are a mess, buddy.
They're terrible. They're order takers.
All right, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I'm gonna go on with this show.
Have a good Thanksgiving. So thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you. I'll be looking forward to that next video. The one you posted up today was awesome. I really liked that.
It didn't do well, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, they're killing us all. You know that.
I know.
All right,
hang in there, folks. Keep stacking. Thank you.
There you go. All right, my man. CS right there. Go over and check out his channel, guys. Constitutional Stacker. You got to do that. And these other folks that dropped in here tonight, go over and check them out. It was nice to meet you. Appreciate you coming in. You know, there's a few new folks here. Right there's another one. All right, go over and check them out for me. They dropped in here to check us out, so let's return the favor. But let's get on with what we're doing here. We're going to run a little long tonight, so I hope that's okay. Because something really major happened this week. Don't know if a lot of you know about it. You might have heard about it or not. Argentina elected their first libertarian leader. This guy right here. Look, he's holding his Bible and he's posing behind the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. This guy is awesome. Shoot, what's his name? I forgot. I didn't write it over there on my board. But it had instant impact on the world economy because right off the bat, Argentina decided they were going to get off the peso and go to the U.S. dollar. That'll have a positive impact on the U.S. dollar. So, you know, it's not going to be much to you and me, but on the world stage, that's going to be a pretty good effect on our dollar. Plus, Argentina was invited to join BRICS, and they decided they would decline that. They said, nope, we don't want no part of it. We're going to stick with the U.S. dollar. So hopefully that works out well. So we'll see what happens. But I wanted to run through that real quick because I want to get to one thing right here real quick. The deep state. We're celebrating the 60th birthday of the deep state. 60 years ago today, this right here happened. President Kennedy was killed. A lot of people don't know why. Most people, they read their history books and they see all of that crap about Lee Harvey Oswald and how he was the lone killer. Yeah, right. But this was when the deep state came out. They said, okay, you're not going to play the game we want you to play. We're going to take you out. It's that simple. And they did it. And they made a point. They wanted every nation in the world to know, and they wanted every politician in America to know, and every person in America to know that they could take you out at the drop of a hat. If they can take out a president for not going along with the game plan, they can take out any of us. But I did a little research. I want to show you this. See that right there? That is the world famous Dealey Plaza. That's the route that the presidential car took that day, right down Main Street. You see that red line right there? That's the route that the limo took. If you see the yellow line, right where it goes straight off of that red line, it could have went straight down that road and hit the same exact path. There's a little interchange there where those two yellow lines meet, where that car could have actually driven the exact same path. If it just went straight ahead, it would have been on the same road. But for some reason, they wanted to take a right and then a left, and they wanted to go right down between 3 points. I know you've heard of triangulation of fire. If you're familiar with firearms at all, battle statistics, triangulation of fire pretty much means you're putting a target within 3 points. Now, if you look at this picture here, those three dark red X's, that's where witnesses say they heard shots come from. Of course, the one right where they made that left turn, that's the school book depository, where they said Lee Harvey Oswald was. And then the one right down that road where you see that X where it says the grassy knoll, that is where several people, and there were witnesses that ran to that point because they heard shots come from there. That's where that supposed shooter was. But that third one, right there on Houston Avenue, right before they take that hard left turn, there's an X right there. And most people they don't know about that. But a lot of witnesses says that shots were heard coming from there as well. And that is a local courthouse. So right there where the black X is on Dealey Boulevard, you can see that black X is right in the middle of all three of those red X's. That's called triangulation of fire. Worked out perfect. They didn't have to take that route. They could have went straight, just like that yellow line shows you there. But they chose not to do that. They wanted to make a right, then a left, and then head right back to where they were going to start with. I thought that's kind of peculiar. And me being familiar with stuff like that, I just had to question that. Don't know if you want to or not, but you might want to consider that and do a little research. Now, a lot of people say that happened because of the Bay of Pigs fiasco. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the CIA had set up a plan to support rebels in Cuba and overthrow the Cuban government. And John Kennedy said, nope, we ain't doing that. And he kind of pulled back all the military support from what the CIA had set up. And they thought that military-industrial complex said, okay, we can't have this guy there. That might have been it. That might have been the reason why. But there's another reason that nobody has ever considered. And I'm going to show it to you right now. See that right there? You see any difference in those bills other than that red seal in the middle of the word 5? John Kennedy was going to shut down the Federal Reserve in his second term. Look at it now. You see the difference? One says United States note. The other says Federal Reserve note. He was going to shut down the Federal Reserve and make sure that the United States stayed on the gold standard. We wasn't going to be borrowing money from the Federal Reserve Bank that's not a part of the U.S. government. We were only going to print as much money as we had in our precious metal reserves. And a lot of people don't know that. You need to get out there and do your research, folks. You need to get out there and do your research. This is just proof that they don't want you to know a lot of things. And with what's going on right now, they damn sure don't want you to educate yourself. It's kind of like what happened today up on the U.S.-Canadian border. Right off the bat, everybody's reporting it was a terrorist attack, a car bomb. Turned out, no, it wasn't. It was just a couple of dumbass car thieves running with a stolen car, and they hit the concrete barrier at the border, and the car exploded. That's all it was. It's what it looks like. You know, right off the bat, a lot of these prepper channels jumps out there and said, oh, it's a terrorist attack on U.S. soil. This is a start. No. Wait for the facts to come in, folks. Wait and find out what actually happened. And that has everything to do with what's happened in our history. Just like today is the 60th anniversary of the deep state saying, yes, we can take anybody out. Get out there and find out what actually happened. Don't just take it on face value. Don't listen to those history lessons. No matter what they say, from this point forward, That's why they will not let channels like this grow, because they don't want you to know the truth. Get out there and find it, guys. All right, then. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate it. Glad you guys came in early. Hope you have a tremendous Thanksgiving. We're in trouble in this household tomorrow. I've never cooked a turkey in my life. And these people have tasked me with making a turkey. Oh, Lord. Hopefully it'll be all right. We'll see what's happening. I'm sure I'll let you know next week if it was good or not. Hope you get with your loved ones.
We got plenty of hamburger. We can have
Uh,
hamburgers.
Yeah. If the turkey's bad, we got bologna, we got hamburger. So
It's all good.
we'll work it out. Thank all you new folks for being here. I truly do appreciate it. Like I said again, hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your loved ones. Whole weekend, just have some fun. Hopefully you got a good long weekend ahead. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I'm gonna say stay strong and keep prepping, and pray for the United States of America, because we need it now more than ever before. Keep your head on a swivel when you're in public. Watch what's going on, because it's happening all around us every day. The Orlando Prepper is out.